Hi, this is Morgan Muir. Thank you for taking the time to come hear about the Evolution hydronic appliance that has been presented by or introduced by Heat Transfer Products. This product is fascinating in that it is really truly an evolution of a series of component parts and philosophies of hydronics combined in one unit. The evolution is really an evolution of the Phoenix water heater. Many of you are familiar with the 96% efficient stainless steel, award-winning from PG&E, modulating water heater. What we've really done is combined hydronics in a seamless fashion into one appliance. Now, one of the characteristics of combined hydronics of this particular appliance is its capacity is number one water heating, meaning it gives a lot of hot water on demand in high peak load conditions. And it also does the space heating. Given our load profiles, that's really the sequence of load that we see. And that's why this particular system is set up so well for that. Of course, when you have a boiler and an indirect, you sometimes have to oversize your boiler in terms of getting your domestic hot water requirements, whereas there's absolutely no penalty for doing so in this high mass configuration. Now notice that it does show radiant. We are introducing some low temperature baseboards soon, but you'll see that this unit does go up to 160 degree output. Now, just diagrammatically, we have the Phoenix, and then we have on the upper module here a braze plate heat exchanger with a variable speed control connected to it, series of valves, pressure relief valve, etc. And that is there for the purposes of extracting heat from the tank into the heat exchanger, and then on the other side taking that heat and delivering it out to your hydronic system in a seamless way. So when you look at this unit and why we're calling it an appliance, in essence, you are getting a condensing boiler, an indirect water heater, and the mechanical piping all in one package. And you'll see that the mechanical piping and controls and everything have been greatly simplified in this sort of integrated design. A little bit of a cutaway. If we look down at the bottom part, those who are familiar with a Phoenix, this gave them the opportunity to obviously aesthetically clean up this unit, but also it was an exercise in conjunction with a lot of different contractors and engineers, cleaning up the box down here and making it much more simple, much more easy to access and to service. And I think everyone will appreciate that. You'll see here is a control. That's the integrated control that is controlling both the space heating and the water heating in a relatively sophisticated manner within this unit. And above here is the variable speed circulator and the plate heat exchanger. You'll also see there's unions in there. That heat exchanger can very easily be detached, put in a bowl of muriatic acid or some other kind of cleaning fluid, and be cleaned if ever that's needed in a particularly nasty water condition. A little closer picture of what we have here is the braze plate heat exchanger. Here is the variable speed circulator that's extracting heat from the tank, from the top of the tank, and then putting the heat the flow coming out of the heat exchanger back into the middle of the tank. You can see all the isolation valves, and you can't really see the pressure relief valve very easily here. But what this is doing is when there is a call for heat, let me point out here there are also two sensors that are located on this unit. When there is a call for heat, and we'll show you where, from your thermostat or from your switching control box, what it will do is it will turn on the pump going to the system, not shown here. It will gauge what the load profile is, and then it will turn on this variable speed circulator extracting heat at the rate required. As a matter of fact, it counts the BTUs, and that information is available going out to your heating system. And so what it's doing when that call for heat is testing what the condition is on the system, turning on this circulator. It also is sensing what is the condition within the tank. Should I turn on the burner or shouldn't I turn on the burner, according to the load profile that's presented. So this is one aspect that you'll see me repeating multiple times about the truly fully load matching and intelligent approach of this device that reduces cycling down to really the minimum that could be expected in any device here. So this is a little picture of the stainless steel tube going to the top to extract heat, going to the heat exchanger, and returning from that heat exchanger back down to near the combustion chamber. Now the capacities, this is looking at the 130,000 BTU model. These are available in 130 and 199,000 BTUs, and they're available in 50, 80, and 119 gallons. In this case, we're looking at BTUs that can be extracted from this heat exchanger, and we're looking at the flow rate over on this side that would be going out to the system. And here are the various delta T's that can be operated at. So you can see that in a 130,000 BTU model of the Evolution, you can get about 100,000 BTUs at 20 degree delta T out of this unit. And correspondingly, on the 199,000 BTU unit, we can extract about 135,000 BTUs from the unit at a broad delta T, a 30 degree delta T, more like 120,000 in tighter delta T conditions, depending on your what you've set up your system for, meaning going out to your heating system. And we'll get into that because this is an ideal device in which to use a variable speed delta T circulator for your entire system, not only for simplification of the entire system, but also for just exacting very precise performance. So the literature is fully available. It's on the website at www.jtgmuir.com. You can click right through to there and the installation manual and these specifications, so don't feel as though you have to memorize all this. You'll see this is, if you look more closely, this is pointing to the conventional Evolution, as well as to the dimensions and information relating to the solar version of the Evolution, because the unit is available in both its solar and standard Evolution models. Note down below that this is a 12-year limited warranty. It has the same warranty as a boiler. So this is the first time you're ever going to see the confidence of a manufacturer in having a water heater driven device actually providing the warranty of a boiler. And there are good reasons for that I want to touch on here. Notice that there's 2-inch venting for the 130,000 BTU unit and 3-inch venting for the 199,000 BTU units. Now, this may be redundant for those who are familiar with a Phoenix, but these have very high recovery rates in terms of domestic hot water. And of course, not only that, it has the storage available. So when you're very often, if you look at a Phoenix Evolution with a recirculation system, that can offset in a peak load condition easily 2 tankless. You see these jobs with 2 tankless water heaters and a boiler or some other device, and it's first of all, it's less expensive to put in a Phoenix. It's more efficient, and even look at the pricing of actually putting a boiler and a condensing tankless together, all of that piping, and you're going to find this is less expensive. And we'll touch on that more. So there are the charms of the buffer, and it's very high domestic hot water production.